by the time we left. So.
Oh, firefighters, LA City firefighters have been amazing. They attacked this from the air, from the ground. Your thoughts on what they've been doing? I mean, it's been incredible. So many fires.
Yeah, no, there's no words to describe their efforts today. Like, I couldn't believe, I would bring tears to my eyes to think that we were taking resources for this small, what I consider to be small, as we were watching everybody go, and they were there, they did their job, they were just fantastic. I said thanks to a couple guys when I went up there to go get the rest of our stuff.
Yeah, and you know, obviously the winds died down.
Yeah.
It could have been a completely different scenario if the winds were as strong as they were last night. Were you here when the winds were just roaring?
We were. We lost power last night. I have a little generator, so I was out with my headlamp generator on. My headlamp, trying to get the generator going. There's just ashes blowing in your face. It felt very odd last night. And then the power came back on, and we were kind of like, felt like we could be safe for a little while, and I'm never expecting a house three houses away from us to just erupt into flames.
Crazy. Well, I'm so glad that you and your family are fine. You're not going to stay here tonight, though, right?
No, we're going to head to Ventura. We have a cousin there whose house actually burned down in a fire a few years ago. So,
my goodness.
Yeah, they're rebuilt, and like everybody out there, like everyone, we're going to all pull together and rebuild everybody. And my son over there already said he's going to help do whatever needs to get done to help everybody. Yeah. We really appreciate you guys too, like out there. Like, I know you're tired, I know this work is hard, and we're watching you all the time, so thanks for providing some kind of help for us. Yeah,
I appreciate that. Thank you so much for doing the interview. Thanks. And I will let you know go because I know Ventura is quite a drive.
Thanks so much. Okay, great.
Thank you. I'm glad your home is fine.
You.
That must have been terrifying. Now, before we got here to the Studio City fire, we were out at Hollywood Hills. You know, we were covering the Sunset Fire near Runyon Canyon, and that one, again, firefighters were amazing. They attacked that fire aggressively from the air, making a ton of water drops, and of course that made all the difference in the world. It also helped the winds in that area as well completely died down tonight. Now, before that, we were in Altadena covering the Eden fire, and that has been such a destructive blaze. 5 people lost their lives, and more than 1,100 structures have been destroyed. More than 10,600 acres have been charred. And again, that battle is still going on in that area. And Alex, you know, just walking down Lake Avenue, you can see the entire town. So much destruction. It is just heartbreaking to see that. And home after home, the entire blocks, homes just burned to the ground. It's just awful.
It is. So much to talk about with you because you've been everywhere. But let's talk for a moment about the Hollywood Hills because it looked for a bit like that. Here we go again. But by the time you left there, was it basically we're kind of out of the woods there?
Yeah, you know, when we first got there, we saw that orange glow and the smoke, the black smoke. It really looked frightening. And then we were there perhaps maybe an hour, and by then it completely changed. That's how many drops they were making. A huge progress by LA City firefighters. They did an amazing job, and that was out really quickly, and that allowed us to move over here. I'm sure everyone in the Hollywood Hills, just thanking God, thanking their lucky stars that everything ended up the way that it did.
Because that is just one of the most densely populated areas in all of Southern California. And maybe, Gina, because you've been talking to so many people, that is your specialty as a reporter. You talk to more people than I think anybody on the air in Southern California. And one thing that struck me...
Well, because
yeah, you love people, or at least you're really good at pretending that you do.
Nobody wants to hear me just talk all the time. They want to hear from the people, you know?
But just to one thing that has struck me hearing from the people through you is that want and need to help each other. The way that we have seen Southern California coming together and people stepping forward wanting to help.
Oh, absolutely. We saw many people, helping their neighbors. There was one house that we saw a lady, they were up on a palm tree on a ladder, and they were trying to put out the fire. Another gentleman came in, another neighbor, and they were helping each other, with water hoses and just doing whatever they can to help each other out in such a stressful situation. So, yeah, it's pretty amazing. They always say find the helpers because those are the people you want to interview. They have quite story, and they're just wonderful. And that was the case. We found that in the Hollywood Hills, that one gentleman who was just running from one house to another trying to help his neighbors.
Gina Silva reporting from 3 different fires over the course of the day today. Thank you so much for your continued excellent work, and a shout out to photographer Joab Perez, who's there every step of the way holding that camera up as well. We appreciate it.
Yes.
Now to Fox 11's Susan Hirasuna, who's reporting for us tonight from the Pacific Palisades area. She's been at the Carbon Beach area, which used to have a whole lot of homes, and unfortunately tonight does not. Susan.
Oh my goodness, Alex, that's a way to say it. Yeah, part of the Palisades fire, but we're actually in the city of Malibu. In fact, this area, the Carbon Beach area, was, I believe, the most recent to get an evacuation order, but our sense was that people had already seen the danger and had decided to get out. But meantime, this part here, we're still seeing a lot of fire activity. You see across the street how this house here with the octopus on it, I mean, at first we thought it was stable. We would see some flare-ups, but they would pour some water on it, and it's just unbelievable. Despite the fact that they've got the fire truck right here, just dousing the fire, you still see so many flames. And right next door, a crumpled house, a house that has just burned to the ground, you still got a firefighter working on putting water onto any kind of hot spot. Now, this, I believe, is the northern edge of the Palisades fire. When you go further south, farther south, you get to the fire station, and it's really not that far away. I just drove down there, and because I wanted to see something that I had noticed before, and sure enough, right across from the fire station, there are homes that burned. Earlier today, we had seen some fire activity and fire trucks there, and so they were still dealing with it. And when I just went down there, no more fire trucks in front of the houses that are still standing, but there was indeed one that is burning. I watched as a fire truck went right on by because that's not his assignment, his or her assignment, so they kept on going to the south. The other thing I wanted to tell you is, of course, there are a lot of celebrities that live in this area. They're hurting just like the regular people are hurting in losing their homes. This was supposed to be a big day for actors because of the SAG-AFTRA nominations, right? And I do know, I told you about my friend who has a place just south of Dukes. He has a celebrity neighbor, Benny Blanco, and so that means that Benny Blanco lost his house, his little beach cottage, right along the Pacific Ocean. It's been